Good morning, George.
Morning, Brad. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How about you?
Good. We're back for the second episode.
Yes, we've made it to the second one.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're officially past a debut. So, yeah, how was your weekend?
It was a good weekend. I am building a fence in my front yard, so I dug holes.
Yeah, I need to build a fence in my front yard, so maybe I'll take some tips off you.
It's not as much fun as you think it is, George. Nowhere near as much fun.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we opened Revelation for the first time with the church on Sunday. It was good to...
Yes, it was a whole bunch of fun. I tried to do it was a 7-point sermon, which is bonkers, but yeah.
So you've gone well past the traditional 3, and everyone's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
We can cope with 4, Brad, but 7?
Yeah.
You were just doing it for the symbology, really. It was a complete sermon.
Well, do you know, I only really had 6 points, but I thought I can't do that. So I invented a 7th.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we'll kick straight into this because we've got a lot of content today. It's going to be a big one. People probably need to slow it down and pause it at different stages.
Yeah.
But we'll start off with the favourite of the week, which I think today's the last day. I might have been the last day last night of the Common Games, which were rather understated. Like I finished off the Tour de France watch and then was like, oh, hang on a minute, there's Common Games coming up, which is good.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite event? The favourite of the week?
Well, to upset like a whole bunch of our listeners, first up, my least favourite event, if I flick over and someone's wearing a swimming cap, and I'm like, I can't watch this, it's too slow, so it's not swimming. Sorry to everyone. And
It's turned off now.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. The other week with the staff team, I said same question, and so we had to look through the list, and I just came across the biathlon, which I'm like, okay, I'll look that up, and that's skiing, like snow skiing and shooting at the same time, which is clearly not a Commonwealth Games. I'm not even answering your question.
No.
But I just feel like that would be really fun. I've never seen snow, but I think it'd be fun skiing around shooting.
Yeah.
Those two things.
Yeah, at the same time as what you're going for. Did they stop at one
I don't
point?
know.
Like,
I didn't.
Let's just keep shooting while we're skiing.
Surely they stop, but maybe not. Maybe that's the athleticism of it. How about for you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be really boring and say the mile distance run I actually really enjoy. Because I think, like, you're doing a 100-metre sprint, like, I'm sure there's strategy for those 100-metre sprinters, but it looks like they're just all out. Like, It's just start, stop, 9.5.
You just run like crazy.
Just run like crazy. Yep. Whereas the mile, you see them get into a bunch and you see them start to work out who you're going to try and take and when they're going to try and take them, if they burn too early or burn too late. Like, and they're also running ridiculously fast. Like, on the swimming, I look at them and go, I can't possibly get down the pool that quick.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then I look at the runners, and as much as I think I would like to be like, yeah, I could run a 4-minute mile, there's nowhere close. Am I going to run a 4-minute mile? Like, that is flying around that track. But I like that. And I think the one that I was thinking, I was like, oh, what's a funny Commonwealth Games? I think 3-on-3 basketball is a really weird rogue addition to the Commonwealth Games because it looks like a whole bunch of nations are playing street basketball on a half court. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, you gave up the full, like, we're not getting LeBron here because it's the Commonwealth Games. You've got, like, Scotland playing.
So what, do they have normal basketball as well, or just 3-on-3?
No, it's just 3-on-3. 3-on-3 is the only format of basketball. And it's like on a half court, you get out to your 3-point line and then actually change possession.
Something homely about it. I feel like it's embracing something about the Commonwealth Games.
It's just then you've got, all these small Commonwealth nations, like, playing basketball that don't normally, like, basketball's not even the sport. Maybe Canada is up there. Like, Australia has a good run in the Olympics, but other than that, like, Scotland, what are you doing? Like, why are you playing 3-on-3? Anyway, I digress, but that, I think, is a really funny event.
Oh, good. Yep.
Now, starter segment, we're going to try and keep it short. Your famous last words, your gallows statement. Someone's like, Brad, what does 9 to 20 look like as you're on your way up to the gallows? What are you telling them?
As I walk up the stairs, I say to them, in the hardest of places and hardest of times, Jesus is present in the most glorious and gracious way. That's my sentence.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think there's a lot to unpack in that.
But there is, yeah. They'll have to think about it, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Do you have a story then that's going to send me unpack that? I see the Odyssey here.
The Odyssey is here, yes. Which so I haven't seen the new movie. I haven't seen Christopher Nolan movie, and I'm a little bit dirty that there is a movie because I want to say I enjoyed this book, before it was made into a movie, and now everyone enjoys it. But anyway,
Nolan stolen your thunder.
He
there.
did, yeah. But I do also enjoy Christopher Nolan movies, so I don't know. I guess it's fine. I can cope with this. My story, yes, it's a long story and it's hard, but so it's like sorry that it's. And I feel like I'm playing with some language stuff here. So if there's linguists listening, if they want to correct me in the comments, they can. Okay. So part of the Odyssey is Odysseus, the main character, gets trapped on an island with a goddess named her name is Calypso, which means to cover. And
Apocalypto.
Yeah, so we are in the apocalypse, and so there's a contrast. This is a story of contrast. So that island that he gets trapped on, it is actually it's a beautiful island. She's always making really nice meals. She wants to make him immortal, and she essentially is entrapping him there as kind of her husband. And Odysseus, the whole book, the whole story is he's got to get home. He wants to get home to his place, to Ithaca, to home and hearth, to Penelope, his wife. And so is this, for them, Calypso is covering what his true meaning is, and he has to, each day, he sounds really sad actually, he goes out and sits on the beach and weeps all day. And so he's got to recover what his true purpose is all of the time. Anyway, he gets off the island. I just think it's fascinating. He's on this beautiful island. Odysseus is on a beautiful island. And the contrast is when we get to the Bible, not that the two are interacting or engaging, but we find John on a horrid, craggy island. And he too is stuck there. He is exiled. And it's not that he needs to recover something from inside. The uncovering, the apocalypse, will actually be Jesus coming to him in reassurance and in glory and in beauty and majesty. And so there's just this Christian thing. It's like, don't look inside yourself for what is true and what your purpose is. Jesus turns up graciously presenting that, uncovering it to him. And so it's a story of contrast between the Odyssey and the apocalypse.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's interesting, isn't it, how people would say, the Bible, like there's some people that would question it and say that it's not true. But then you look at some of these fictional stories and they're quite clearly constructed into this like really triumphant way. And then you come to Revelation and you've got a man that's stuck on a craggy island by himself.
Yes.
It's like, where are you going to give the message that's going to encourage all these suffering churches? To a man by himself, sat on an island all by himself.
Yes.
And yet that's exactly what Jesus does. And that's how it gets to the churches that it needs to get to.
Yes, that is a fascinating thing. One way to tell, I think, what is a made-up story, the humans, the people are always the heroes, whereas you get to even the book of Revelation, John will fall down dead. He tries to worship the wrong people partway through. He gets it wrong. And so, it is the revelation of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll dig into a bit of the history.
Yes.
I think we loosely touched last week on when it was written. Which was around, it would have put John the Apostle at about 90. Because I think we're going at about 80, 90. But there's probably a few reasons behind that I don't think we gave the listeners last time. So there's got to be persecution in there, because I think in chapter 2, verse 3 and 2:13, it references persecution directly. And that was common within the Roman Empire, and there was really fierce persecution under Nero, which was 64, 65 AD. But this doesn't seem as fierce. It seems more to the churches in Asia Minor, which gives us more of an indication that it would have been around that Domitian era, which I think he was 80 AD 86 to 91. Yeah. And within that, he was the last of the Flavian dynasty, but he was where that emperor worship and that cult worship was sort of starting up. So it gives us more of a reason as to where that persecution would have been coming from in the Asia Minor region, because all the churches were in Turkey at that point.
Yes. Yeah, so it's interesting pulling on that thread and just trying to locate it in time, depending on who the particularly insecure and persecuting Caesars were during the emperors of that time. And so we would go later. And why? What's the other reason? There's another big reason why we'd go not the 60s but the 90s.
There was earthquakes happening in and around Turkey at that time. So Laodicea, which we see as the last church of the seven, has a massive earthquake in 60 and 61 AD. And that earthquake is so big that it basically devastates the city. But then in chapter 3, we see them being called rich.
Yep.
So no church or city that's gone through that kind of devastation is rich at that point. So they would have needed a period of time, which stacks up with the Domitian emperor timing, in order to acquire wealth and build themselves. So I think that's where we end up sitting about that 80-90. It fits well with the cult worship that was coming from the emperors of the Roman Empire at the time. It also fits well with the geographic location of the church and wealth and earthquakes that fall into the region.
Yep, I think that fits. That's good. Well done. Well done getting all those dates right, George. Great.
A lot of Googling.
Right, okay, yep.
Week prior, so I'm now a history and justice specific.
Right, good. Yep, specialist.
And then there's 7. I think why the 7. Again, we touched on it. You touched on it a little bit in the sermon yesterday, which was really good. I think it's interesting that, historically, they were the 7 largest cities where the churches were present in Turkey at the time. They were also major distribution centres, which I thought was interesting. I sort of reading through the commentaries that these are the 7 places where it would be really easy to get info out of them, so to send it out to the rest of the Christian world. So whilst it's the highest concentration of Christians, it also provided the full ability for this story to get to all other persecuted Christians around the world. Something that I think the most fascinating is the order, because looking into it, I was like, there's an order. The commentaries say, the order is in accordance with the road, so you head up north.
Just like the postal route.
It's like a postal route to all these distribution centres. What's even funnier is that, as we see in the red text of the Bible, it's Jesus that orders that. So it's how often do we as humans go, it's all right, I've got it, I know the most efficient route to get to Macca's next week. Whereas in fact, Jesus here being like, give it to these churches because this makes the most sense. This is how we get my revelation out to the Christian church and being 7 church. I don't know, I think it's cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I love that. For me, just I did it 2 complementing flavours. That's the way I described it. So, is it 7 literal churches? Yeah, there are literally churches there. Does this represent all of the churches? And I go, actually, I think those 2 things fit together.
For sure. And then we head into sort of the history aside. Then John and Jesus through this. When Jesus shows up, he drops more biblical references in just how he shows up than I think anyone has in the rest of the Bible.
So that, I think that is one of the things to see here. Jesus turns up. John sees a vision of Jesus in a way that isn't described anywhere else in the Bible like that. No. And you're right, it is so hyperlinked back to the Old Testament. George, give us a run through. How many different references are there, do you reckon?
So there's a fair few. In order to not have us sitting here for hours, I've compressed it, but we'll run through. So the Son of Man reference is just straight off the bat. A reference to Jesus, and is referenced in Daniel 7, 4, and 10, verses 5 to 6.
And that is kind of the load-bearing image, is it? Like that, you take that, you go back to Daniel 7, authority handed, that is where we're meant to go straight away.
And it's just also, I don't know, it strikes me as they always describe them as someone like a son of man. So they must have had an understanding of what a son of man looked like at the time. But again, John sees that coming in going, looking like a son of man. It's very clearly this is going, okay, that's Daniel 7. That's the same person that turns up to to control the beast and to turn up as the pre-incarnate Jesus after fighting Persia, which we spoke about last week. So through that uncovering, that's Jesus is going, it's the same guy. I'm here. I was there then. We then move into verse 14 of Revelation, where he's referencing head and hair and everything shining. Again, Daniel 7, 9. There he is again. That's the same likeness. But we also see that in the Transfiguration in verse 2. So again, Jesus is like, hey, Son of Man that was in Daniel 7, I'm here again. And I was also here. This is the same Jesus transfigured. Which, being John the Apostle, he's gone, oh, hang on, I've seen this film.
I've done this before.
That's the same imagery. What I like about the next one, which is verse 15, we hear the voice of the rushing water. It's pulling straight out of Ezekiel 1, verse 24, and Ezekiel 43, verse 2. But the interesting thing is in Ezekiel, it's like Father Almighty, voice of rushing water. It's commanding, it's like a booming voice. And then here we see Jesus taking on the same voice. And I think that's just really clever. Again, it's really clever, obviously, because it's Jesus and it's God. But I think for us as readers to be like, oh, I see what he's doing here.
Yeah.
We've got some bits of the description that are Jesus.
Yeah.
And now we're getting the voice of God
Yeah.
speaking through Jesus.
Yeah.
Quite clearly that beautiful Trinity moment where you've got that, like, I don't know, John's like, it's all coming together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, to sort of wrap this up, the mouth sword piece.
Yes.
I find it interesting because it's like there are a couple of commentaries that were talking about how it's, Jesus' authority to judge the world on it.
Yeah.
But there's also so much imagery even in the New Testament. So we've got Old Testament imagery, but the mouth sword, Ephesians 6:17 is the armor of God. So we've got the armor of God there. And the sword of the Spirit is the word.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we've got John 1, where Jesus is the Logos, the word.
Yes.
So to then see Jesus rocking up with a sword out of his mouth where we would speak, it's like, I've got the authority. I'm here to speak. I am the Logos. It's like connecting all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like working through Paul. And then John, again, is like, I called you the word. Like, there's just so many linkages, but I like how that connects.
Yeah. It's just such when you read it, you're like, okay, I get, shiny and loud. Oh, sword out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's strange.
And yet, like don't be such a concrete thinker was one of the points. It's just we get that words and the word of God is sharp and decisive and incisive and the picture works.
Absolutely, yeah. And then Jesus starts speaking.
Yes.
And I think then, he's again dropping more links in there. So he, sort of calls himself the Alpha and the Omega.
Yes.
Straight away. So he's back to Old Testament.
Yes.
He's referencing Isaiah 41 verse 4.
Yeah.
Where again it starts to link that God is the Alpha and the Omega.
Yeah.
Jesus is.
Yeah.
We're connecting the two there. And again in 44 verse 6. But this time he's also including his death and his resurrection.
Yes.
And I think within that, it's a beautiful imagery of, hey, I'm God and all powerful and all sovereign, but I've also humbled myself, died and been resurrected.
Yeah.
So it's that fullness of time, the fullness of the gospel.
Yes.
He's connecting, the sovereignty of our Lord.
Yep.
And also his actions as a servant for us.
Yep.
That he would die and rise for us.
Yeah.
And then, alive forever.
Yep.
I know I like the firstborn of the dead in the first section. Because it's like no one else has done this before.
Yes.
I don't think that this is a human thing. It's like, no, this is a God thing.
Yeah.
And then the alive forever, it's like, he's fully beaten.
Yeah.
Whereas Lazarus, like when we see others raised from the dead, they do die again.
Yeah.
That death. But Jesus is stating how much he controls it and holding the keys.
Holding the keys is such a beautiful image. Yeah. Over death and Hades. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm also really struck by in Ezekiel when he's in exile, and the surprising thing is to see God's throne kind of on wheels turn up in this place where it's not meant to be, and it's like we're seeing that again. Craggy Island, Patmos, persecution. This is awful. Oh wait, Jesus turns up in his fullness here. This is Ezekiel all over again. God reigns. Jesus is here. And I do love that, of course there is going to be the gospel aspect. I was dead and now I'm alive. It just is such a beautiful, rich, textured picture of who Jesus is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, in that, all that suffering, he's there sitting there. I'm in control.
Yeah.
I've got it. I've been there in control. Yeah, he's referencing back to the periods of the time where Israel was in Babylon.
Yeah.
At the time where, the Christians are suffering. And everyone would have been like, I get that.
Yeah. So that is just an absolutely packed section of Old Testament. Yeah. I just also love the fact that they're all just, what is the widest thing John will know? Of course it's going to be snow. What's the loudest thing he's going to know? Probably rushing water. For him, it is just this sensory overload of everything dialed up to 11, and that's what it's like to see Jesus. Yeah.
To which he falls down.
To which he falls down as though, as though dead, which that's a logical response, I think, Yeah.
I don't know that I'd be responding any differently, to be honest, if that image rocked up. The next question, I think, comes at the very end of the passage, and it was actually a question we had come in from one of the growth groups, I think.
Yes.
I think Josh was keen for his growth group to understand, do we have a guardian angel?
Yes.
Because these are pretty loaded, like the angels of the churches, the lampstands as the churches are explained. The stars as angels are explained.
So we get that. We get the answers, yes.
So I'm like, had you not said that the lampstands were churches, I'd have been confused.
Yes.
Jesus like, no, we'll give you that.
Yeah. Yep.
The guardian angels, it took some digging.
Yep.
So
what'd you come up with, George?
There's four possibilities.
Okay, great. So hang on, clarify the question. So there are angels sent to particular churches. That's the way it looks like it could be read.
So. Yeah.
And so go. What are the four possibilities?
So there's the sort of literal interpretation. If there's 7 angels for 7 churches, that means each church has got a guardian angel, so to speak.
Yep.
That's a very literal interpretation. There's another interpretation that we have angelic hosts still watching over the churches. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a singular angel, but multiple heavenly beings overlooking. There is a view as well within some of the commentaries that it's an earthly messenger, and I'll get to sort of why that is in a little sec.
Yeah.
But then there's also some people would say that Revelation is, and we've sort of debunked this a little bit in the first episode, that it's just a concept story for how life as a Christian is now.
Yep.
And that view of the angels would be, it's the spirits of the church.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily, I'm going to throw that one out straight away. Like, with how we interpret Revelation, I don't know that I'm sitting there going, this is the overall spirit of the church.
Yes.
Because it's inconsistent with the rest of the way that these terms are used.
Yeah. Yeah, so that last one, while I say don't be such a concrete thinker, there are concrete things in here, and this isn't 100%. All just a construct for the way to live as a Christian now. So, the fourth one, probably not so much. Go, why the third one? Why could it be human angels? Similar
to how we were talking about apocalypto doesn't mean the end of the world as much as it means to reveal.
Yep.
Angelos is the term for messenger in the Bible.
Yeah.
So in Matthew 11, verse 10, John the Baptist is called an angel, so to speak, with how we translate it. Like, it's the same word, and we use it for angel and messenger depending on the context. So there are some thoughts then we're going, it must mean the pastors, the bishops, the messengers of God's word to his churches.
Yeah.
And sort of what backs this up is that John's writing this to them. So it does seem a little bit odd that John's going to turn around and write to heavenly beings.
Yeah.
Because it's like, John, write to your people.
Yeah.
The angels already get it. We don't need any further there. But I think at the same time, it's primarily that use of that word and then a bit of logic that I think gets you to that messenger interpretation. I don't know that, again, I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
Continue to spin this round, because whilst, in Matthew we see angelos being used as a messenger, the same angelos is used over 60 times in Revelation. Nearly all of them are for heavenly beings.
Yeah.
So for this one particular use at the start of the book to mean something else, just doesn't seem consistent with the apocalyptic style of writing.
We would tend to avoid that sort of inconsistency. If it's translated like this for most, why would we use it separately, differently in another part? So
exactly. So then within that, I think there's still a purpose for John to write it to the angels and to provide it, because it's still an encouragement to the churches. It's still always going to be an encouragement to the churches. I think it's interesting to also see how stars and angels are used throughout the Bible, because as much as Jesus' description was loaded with references, calling angels stars and stars angels is actually just as loaded. So I've got some references here as well. So we've got Genesis 1, verses 16 to 18, the stars are called to govern the night, which is, I think, a really interesting style of language.
Yeah.
In Job 1 verse 6, we've got angels in the courtroom before God, as Satan brings his plea to punish Job. There are angels there, so they're obviously still in and about the rule and the government of how to rule in the universe. Then we've also got angels described as morning stars, still in Job at that point. So Job 38, they're called to govern that way, and then they're carrying out the rule of the Lord on earth. I've got 4 different psalms, like Psalm 78 verse 49, 91 verse 11, 103 verse 20, and 104 verse 4.
Mm.
So to say that like God is using the angels to rule and govern is pretty consistent with also the rest of the Bible.
Yeah.
And I think then that starts to embed a bit of the understanding into, do the churches have angels? Do angels rule? Yes, I would say.
Yes.
And they are over the churches and they are protecting the churches because that's their role within God's creation.
Yep. The thing that helps me get my mind around this is to go, so this is an apocalypse. This is an uncovering of like a heavenly, the dimension is right there. Is it every single technical fact about life and the spiritual? Well, actually, no. We just get what is happening that is kind of important for John and us as churches. So, does this describe the way in which we can understand angels and their interaction with the churches? Actually, no. But just that there is the existence,
absolutely,
presence, ruling, whatever that is, and that both of those things, church and angels, are held in. Jesus is among them. He holds them in his hand.
In his right hand, to be specific.
In his right hand, yes.
Yeah. Which I think is we see through the rest of the symbology, that like holding the right hand shows a governance and a rule and a protection, because it's not just for symbolically at that time. Yeah. That right hand was the right hand of whatever ruler, and we see Jesus sat at the right hand of God. Yeah. It's always that side. Yeah. It hurts me as a lefty to say it, but the right hand is superior in the sense that it rules. Yeah. And Christ is therefore saying, like, these angels that are taking care of these churches, this revelation that you're seeing now, that you've got this governance over you and you're being protected through this. Yes. Is still all within the plan and the sovereignty and the rule of Jesus. Yeah. His rule over it.
Yeah. Which is such a reassuring
absolutely
picture. That's Yeah. Yeah.
So where it came to is, I don't know that I sit with guardian angel over church. Yes. I don't think necessarily DPC may have a guardian angel. We can touch on other references to that, but just out of this passage, I think we do have angelic hosts supporting us as a church. Yeah. And I think Jesus is in control.
Yeah. Great. Okay, good. Well, that's easy. We've done all of the complex things.
Everything. Yeah. No worries. How do we apply it? It's like it's really good. I think we started to summarize a little bit of the angels, but how do we take some of these descriptions into our weeks? Yeah.
I've been thinking about what do we need as humans? What do we, when life is hard? Like, this is hard for John. This is hard for those churches. What do we need when life is hard? We will answer that in 1,000 different ways with the things that I use my imagination. I really, really need this. I really need a rest. I need something new. I need a change, whatever it is. What actually is presented is Jesus. Jesus turns up in his glory and grace. And so what do I actually need? I don't think this is being flippant or trite about the persecutions to go. We need Jesus. We need the one who reassures us he holds all things in his right hand. We need the one who, was and has been referred to is the fulfillment of all time. He is the one who is present. He is the one who holds the keys of death and Hades. We need a person. We need our God, our Lord and Saviour. And so this week I would go, no matter what is happening.
Last words.
Yeah, that's right. No matter what is happening in the hardest of times and places, we need the gracious and glorious Lord Jesus.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So resources that we've got,
So this one's yours. You I do know the book, but it's the are we doing the YouTube biggest story?
Yes,
that one.
I love the biggest story. Yep. And I was thinking, because you talk about like Jesus being the man, I was like, that is the classic Sunday school answer, and I like it because it's the Sunday school answer for a reason, and especially in this passage, I think. Book.
Yep.
It does show why.
Yes.
Trust in Jesus. But the biggest story is that Kevin DeYoung resource.
Yes. So we have the book, and I do love the book. Yeah. But you've been enjoying the YouTube.
I discovered YouTube videos, which when you've got a 2-year-old whose attention span is about 3 to 4 minutes, a 3 to 4 minute Bible video is fantastic. And it's been really good. They've got like every 105 stories on YouTube. All just different chunks of the Bible, but there are 3 or 4, I think, on Revelation.
So, oh, wow.
This resource I got this week was a family resource, so it just unpacks the letters to the 7 churches, Revelations 1 to 3, all covered in the bigger story in about 4.5 minutes, which really makes our podcast almost redundant if you can get as much as you need out of that video in 4.5 minutes.
So thankfully, if you've gotten to here, you've made it almost all the way through. So you can go and have it all summarised by.
The same listeners will then pass it to their friends and be like, "Don't worry about that half an hour.
listen to
the bigger story." But it's a good resource. And you don't have to just check out Revelation 1 to 3. They've got a heap of other stuff.
Yep. Nice.
Anything you want to close with?
No. Keep reading. Keep doing the hyperlinks thing. I said yesterday, if you want to know what's going on in Revelation, actually pay attention to the Old Testament. I think we saw that massively today.
And if people have got questions, comments coming out of growth group, be sure to send them through to us in one way or another. It's easy enough to get to us, but it's fun sort of unpacking some of the questions that we've got and digging into that so we can seek to answer them. And half the time it's probably similar to this angels. It's not a clean answer. But it does provoke some discussion, I think. Yeah, that's good.
It's great. Thanks, George.
Thanks very much, Brad.
Righto.
See everyone next week.
Yep, sounds good. See you later.
Bye.